Greetings from Boulder City, just outside of Las Vegas. Taking a little trip out to see my mother today. It's about a 75-mile ride into Arizona from Las Vegas area. And today I have a question for you. When your get up and go has got up and went, do you hanker for a hunk of cheese? You know, like they used to remind us back in the 70s. I gotta tell you, sometimes I do hanker for a hunk of cheese. Even if it's a warm piece of Kraft Singles from my back pocket, yep, I hanker for a hunk of cheese. That never gets old. So, with that, today, I'm on my 2023 Triumph Tiger 1200 Rally Explorer. This is, essentially I bought this bike because it's the perfect touring bike to go out 75 miles to visit my mother in Arizona every now and then. She lives on a dirt road. I used to have a V-Rod Harley, which was good for about a half an hour and then feels like your ass is gonna fall off. Beautiful bike, but not really good for any kind of distance. So today I just thought I would spend a little time talking about things that make me feel young. And I think I'm too old to grow up. And that I'm okay with. So I just thought I would stop here for a minute, do a brief introduction. Let's hit the road and let's talk about that a little bit more while we are cruising on the Highway 93 down into Arizona. And it's some really pretty road coming up. So I'm usually riding on this alone with my thoughts if I'm riding out by myself, and it's why not record some of those thoughts instead, because we all do it. We're all riding and it's a great time to think, and let's talk about it. And if I don't say it enough, I'm going to say it again. I don't care if it looks like a transformer. I love this bike. The shaft drive with the no chain maintenance required. And I could probably deal with a Rally Pro instead of an Explorer. I don't know that I necessarily need that giant gas tank up there, but man, the power on this is amazing. And when you need to pass on the highway because somebody's in the, well, you know what I mean. They're getting in your way. It has no problem with that. So, wow, this thing is just it's the bomb. So, let's head on out. These goofy curbs, you got to do a U-turn. Oh, I really hate these things. All right. Okay, we're back on the road. It's so beautiful right here. It's just, at first I was thinking, man, when my mother moved to near Las Vegas from Michigan, it's like, oh, it's 75 miles away, really? But I get to ride through this every time. This is gorgeous. I mean, wow. And it continues like this for, I don't know, another 20 miles or so. It's fantastic. And it was great. So to go back to our subject,
that hanker for a hunk of cheese thing, that was, I'm a child of the 70s. I was born in 1970, 55 years old now. And they used to have these things called commercials on television, which I haven't watched actual live television in 5 or 10 years now. So, you know, everything's streaming now, or I have a massive media collection. Oh, by the way, wave. We're going over the Hoover Dam right now, but you can't really see it. Nope, still can't see it, even if you stand. But some of those commercials in the 70s were like public service announcements, sort of. Oh, and welcome to Arizona, by the way. There's, do a little interruption here. This is such a great ride through here. The Grand Canyon State. So these public service announcements were really advertisements. There were ones from the dairy industry that was trying to promote eating dairy and consuming dairy, eating cheese and all that. And I'll put a link in the description to the one I'm referencing. It's literally a weird little guy that was on my shirt singing a song about how he hankers for a hunk of cheese when he gets home from school. And they play these particularly on Saturday mornings, because that was a common thing for us. Saturday morning cartoons. You'd watch whatever was on the main networks. You'd have, you know, ABC, CBS, NBC, PBS, and eventually we got Fox, but that was later on in the mid to late 80s. But you would, in between the cartoons the kids are watching on Saturday morning, they'd have weird commercials like that to say, hey kids, you should eat some cheese when you get home from school. It'll make you feel better. Schoolhouse Rock was another one. And they were great. They were little. I have a whole collection of those too. They'd tell you about adjectives or nouns. A noun is a person, place, or thing. I mean, it sticks with you. So little tiny educational things. Really kind of nice animations back then, really basic stuff. The cheese one was pretty strange though. But I see those things and it takes me back to that feeling I got where my brother and I are watching cartoons on Saturday morning, our house or at my grandmother's house. We loved at my grandmother's house, a lot of times it would be on Sunday morning. And instead of cartoons, it would be old Abbott and Costello movies. And I will tell you, I'm still watching Looney Tunes and Abbott and Costello movies to this day. This morning, as I was getting ready for my trip to my mother's, I had my cup of coffee, so there's my grown-up part. But I had my bowl of Apple Jacks, which I've been having since the 70s. And I was watching some old Looney Tunes. I love it. It was a 1959 one where a guy and his dog go into a talent agent, and the guy says to the talent agent, I got the greatest act you've ever seen. I have a talking dog. It's going to make so much money. You're not going to believe it. Here, let me prove it to you. He looks at the dog and he goes, what's on top of a house? And the dog goes, roof. Perfect. He goes, what's my name? And the dog goes, Ralph. He goes, exactly. He goes, who's the greatest baseball player of all time? And the dog says, Ruth. He goes, there you go, Babe Ruth. The dog's brilliant. It's a talking dog. Bam! The guy throws him out of the office. They're laying on the floor in the hallway, and the dog walks over on two legs to the guy and says, maybe I should have said DiMaggio. And I'm telling you, as that cartoon is playing, a 1959 cartoon from 66 years ago, I am repeating the words as they are saying them, because I remember all that stuff as a kid watching those. It was such a treasure. Hell, my brother and I used to, when Looney Tunes would come on, you know, they have the logo come up, that whole thing. If it was going to be a Bugs Bunny cartoon, after the initial Looney Tunes logo, they'd show Bugs Bunny's face. So you go, oh, it's going to be a Bugs Bunny cartoon. And my brother and I, one of us would shout out, I saw it first. It's like it's like yelling Uno when you're playing Uno or something. And then you knew you were in for a good time because it was going to be another good Bugs Bunny cartoon. And they were all good. Heck, even the ones that were talking about, that were about music and those sorts of things, you didn't realize it at the time, but they were teaching you about classical music. It was great. And nowadays you'll hear songs. Oh, I remember that. I grew up listening to that. And then you think, wait a minute, why would I have been listening to that? My parents were listening to John Denver and the Eagles and Meatloaf and Jim Croce and bands like that. And it was from Looney Tunes. So I still enjoy all that stuff. When a song comes on the radio or my streaming service, it's the ones from the 70s that I'm singing along to because you know all the words. The 80s as well, especially the 80s when you're a middle school, high school student. Man, music has so much meaning, and you just soak it up. You absorb every word, and it just it becomes kind of a part of you. And then when it comes on later, we love still going to see bands. It's another thing that makes you feel young. Too old to grow up. We went and saw the Scorpions here in Las Vegas just a couple of weeks ago. And the lead singer, it's the original guitarist that formed the band. And then the lead singer was joined a year or two later. He's been on every recording that they've ever released. He's had some back surgery recently, some really serious stuff. So you could tell he was struggling up there. But you know what? He's at his age, I think he's in his mid-70s, he's still doing it. Amazing. And it just brings back all those feelings from childhood or, from the 80s in that case. It couldn't be better. We're going to go see tomorrow another one. And this is a really strange one. We're going to go see The Wizard of Oz in Las Vegas. They're showing it at the Sphere. It's really stupid expensive, but it's one of those we just thought, you know what, let's just do it. And we're going to go with some friends tomorrow. And here's a strange story about The Wizard of Oz that doesn't make any sense. That used to come on, that was released in 1939, something like that. And it used to come on every year. They'd play it at least once on one of the main network channels. And every year we would watch it. And I would always have the same nightmare after it was on. Maybe that's why I don't like witchcraft movies today. I don't know. We just watched one called Weapons. That was an interesting concept, but it's a witchcraft movie. So, but anyway, it was something like, it had nothing to do with the movie. It made no sense. And how the heck does your juvenile brain as an elementary school kid come up with this? But it would always be almost like the ball in Indiana Jones in the beginning, a giant ball like that with spikes sticking out of it was rolling after me, and I had to just keep running to get away from it. And it just kept chasing me and following me and going through turns and corridors and like big weird old abandoned warehouses or something like that. I don't know. What is that all about? I don't know. But eventually that stopped happening, and I was able to just enjoy the movie without the nightmares. But really strange. But I'm fortunate enough in my life to surround myself with people who aren't going to give me. I might get that sideways look, or oh, what an asshole, or oh boy, another dad joke. I'm okay with that sometimes, but I don't get anybody saying, why don't you just grow up? Because I'm not going to. I have a wife and a brother and a sister-in-law and kids who all understand that the passion for those things that formed your personality when you were young and how much joy they can still bring you as an adult. I'm not going to grow up. I'm not going to grow out of that stuff. When I talk to some other adults sometimes, oh, have you seen, I don't know, Moana, the latest whatever Disney or animated movie, and they go, isn't that a cartoon? I'm like, okay, I'm wasting my time with this person. They just don't get it. These things are about the story, and whether it's animated or live action, hell, unfortunately, most of the live action recreations of all those animated Disney movies weren't that great. Jungle Book was pretty good, but for the rest of them, I'll take the animated versions any day. They just had so much more heart, a connection from that time period. So that is my rant on why I feel I'm too old to grow up, and I'm fine with that. I have no interest in growing up. We are nearing the end of the beautiful part of this ride. I still have about 30 miles till I get to the turnoff. So with that, yeah, once you hit the windmill farms, it becomes a little flat and a little bleh. So I'm gonna wrap this one up, and let me know if you enjoy this kind of content. This one was a lot different than what we usually do, but it's nice to just express your thoughts while you're riding, because they're going through your head anyway. Why not talk about it and share it? So if you enjoy this kind of thing, please be sure to like and subscribe on the video. And until the next one, drive carefully and come back soon. So here's a pretty good deal. You're going out to visit your mother, and she says, hey, if you stop and grab some sandwiches from Subway, I'll have some fresh cooked brownies waiting for you when you arrive. Hell yeah, we're at Subway.